Awaken your trust in the Most Holy Virgin of the Rosary. These are the words of somebody who I consider to be one of the greatest saints of the 19th and 20th centuries, Bartolo Longo. Bartolo Longo was born in the 1840s, and by the 1860s he'd gone so far away from the church that later on in life he says, "I was a satanic priest." He'd been attending seances. He was also very involved in the nationalistic movements, which sought to limit the authority of the church and the secular temporal power of the church. And he'd been very influenced by a life of Jesus, which was hyper-rationalist. A university lecturer notices a change in his behavior, and it worries him because he notices that he's preoccupied. He notices that he's anxious. And Blessed Bartolo Longo says that he struggled with suicidal thoughts during this time. He struggles with these things even after his conversion later on in life, but things begin to change for him when it's suggested he meets the Dominican order. He meets Father Redente, and Father Redente teaches him that actually hyper-rationalism is not very rationalist at all. It's not rational to exclude the supernatural from human reality, from our existence and our experience of the world. He also teaches him to pray the Rosary, and it's through the Rosary and his devotion to the Blessed Mother that he starts coming back to being able to enjoy life again. He realizes he is not an orphan, that he has a mother who cares about him in heaven, and through her, Jesus, our Lord, will bestow his graces upon him. He is restored to life. He also around this time meets Saint Caterina Volpicelli, who's very well known for her corporal works of mercy. He starts taking an interest in looking after the children on the streets of Pompeii, those who were orphaned, either because their parents had died or because their parents had been incarcerated. And he starts looking after them in the name of the Blessed Mother. He notices on the back of what can only really be described in a polite way as a manure cart, an image of the Blessed Mother. And he says, how far have we come? The people are very superstitious. They don't pray their rosary, but then they treat the Blessed Mother with such disrespect that her image is basically in the middle of a pile of manure. Discarded, unwanted. This is going to have very real consequences. So he takes the image, he restores it, and then it hangs in the shrine in Pompeii. He preaches the rosary, and people start coming to the shrine again. So much so that the shrine can't take the numbers of people who are coming, and so he has to raise a lot of money to expand the shrine in Pompeii. He's now buried in the shrine which he helped to expand, near the image that he helped to restore. With a rosary in his hand, he became very devoted to the Blessed Mother, having been in some of the darkest places in human experience. I think we can learn from him that no darkness is too dark for God. Nobody is so far away from God that he can't bring them back if we just turn to him. That turning to him is itself a grace of God and a sign of God's love. For Blessed Bartolo Longo, this happened through the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary. So awaken your trust in the Most Holy Rosary of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Notice in his life how he speaks to her. He expects her to be able to get things done. He expects her to love him as a son who she accepted at the foot of the cross. When Jesus said, "Woman, behold your son," looking at the disciple whom he loved. That's each and every one of us. But then, of course, it says that the beloved disciple made a place for her in his home. So we should also make a place for Mary in our home too, in our hearts, in our lives. We should remember that nobody is too far gone for God's light and God's grace to penetrate their existence and their life. Blessed Bartolo Longo, pray for us.